Sheriff calls us outlaws. But I say we are free.
Unlike some other Robin Hoods, I can speak with an English accent.
There are countless examples of American actors who do terrible British accents.
I've seen many strange things already.
Mary Poppins, you look beautiful.
While most British actors appear to have perfected their American accents.
Is that the going rate for saving the woman you love?
But I'm gonna kill you.
So why do Americans have such a tough time?
I think part of it is an illusion. I think part of it is just the fact that we actually hear a lot more British actors doing American accents.
Erik Singer is a dialect coach based in New York.
How many accents in dialect can I do? All of them.
He works with actors to fine-tune their accents for film and TV.
I think we could probably think of some accents from British actors, some American accents that are less successful.
I can't imagine a world without you.
There are guys you can hit, and there's guys you can't.
The British actors who do really successful American accents tend to live in the States, tend to come here and really be sort of aiming at the kind of success that, you know, having a career in TV and film that's produced in Hollywood represents. The American actors who do really good British accents, and there are plenty, tend to be under the radar a little bit more. You know, they're doing theater in London or something like that.
The type of training actors receive can also come into play.
More British actors tend to have a drama school training in which speech and accents and phonetics is part of it.
So what are some examples of Americans who can do a good British accent?
I've heard some clips of Michael C. Hall in the Netflix series Safe doing an English accent. It sounds really, really, really good.
I'm looking for Jenny, my daughter. I think she was with Chris last night. Is she here?
Alan Tudyk does a great job. He's the robot in Rogue One.
I'm a reprogrammed Imperial droid.
On the flip side, Singer says there are numerous British actors who have really nailed their American accents.
Idris Elba's kind of African-American accent in The Wire.
You going out on point, picking up business in the pit.
Ain't nothing else to it.
Daniel Kaluuya did an amazing job, I think, in Get Out.
Yo, my man. They were asking me about the African-American experience. Maybe you could take this one.
Mark Rylance, his native accent is English. He usually does a really great job in American accents.
Hello, I'm James Halliday. If you're watching this, I'm dead.
For those who have struggled with accents in the past,
I need that money, Tom.
Singer has some tips for actors looking to hone their skills.
Listen to a native speaker, listen a lot, and listen some more. It's an act of the imagination, taking on another accent. If you're not familiar with the culture, the place, the people, or you don't have a strong kind of sense of empathetic identification, that's when it gets really hard. Meryl Streep is famous for having done this a lot and being surrounded by people who talk in the target accent.
1941, when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor.
Meryl Streep doing Margaret Thatcher, which is a very specific, it's an idiolect, it's one person's accent, but it's absolutely flawless.
When doing a British accent, there are a few basic things to keep in mind.
Posture-wise, tongue tips tend to be pointier, jaw tends to be a bit higher. I would listen particularly for sounds like goat, the O sound, words like hold, goal, hope. I tend to use a bit more pitch, tend to use pitch for emphasis a bit more, so that'll get you started.
There are many types of British accents, and some tend to be more difficult than others.
One thing that comes up for some reason that a lot of Americans seem to really struggle with is Welsh accents. A lot of it is a lack of exposure. It's just like, Welsh? What does that even sound like for a lot of Americans? Unless you've gone to see a production of Under Milkwood or something like that, you probably haven't been exposed to lots of Welsh accents.
There's also one type of British accent that actors tend to lean on.
One of the first things that you'll see American actors do is kind of straighten up. Yes, and I've got to be like this. And there's an association with a kind of fanciness. Sometimes you'll see British actors kind of get soft and floppy and lean back because Americans are all like that, which is adding a particular character and attitude on top of an accent. And I think it's really important not to rely on those sorts of things and to realize that people are people and character is to a large extent independent of accent.
To perfect an American accent, you need to focus on one key letter.
A huge thing is getting American R sounds, and there's two things that can be challenging there. One of them is just making sure they're all there in unstressed syllables, like at the ends of words like other, another, mother, sister, brother, you know, writer, baker. We tend to skip right over those.
Carl! Carl!
American R's usually are made, for most people, with the sides of the tongue kind of bunching up. It's a really odd thing to do with your tongue, and it can feel very awkward and clumsy. It involves a lot of muscularity.
Regardless of your skills, sometimes your true accent will pop up unexpectedly.
Getting very emotional, yelling, also being tired or drunk. These are times when accents do tend to slip.
I killed Bethany, my old girlfriend, with a nail gun.
So how long does it take to master an accent?
It just depends. It really does. The more time, the better. If you have 6 weeks before shooting starts or before rehearsals start for a play, and you work on it really, really hard, ideally with a really qualified dialect coach, you know, you stand a pretty good shot of getting to a good place.
Yes, sir. I will give it my full attention.
Our work is finished here. Hers has just begun.